Trading futures, options on futures, and forex involves a substantial risk of loss and isn't suitable for all investors. Past performance, whether actual or indicated by historical tests of strategies, is no guarantee of future performance or success. There's a possibility that you may sustain a loss equal or greater than your entire investment, regardless of which asset class you trade. Therefore, you should not invest or risk any money you couldn't afford to lose. When you log
Right, hello everyone. We're going to start the live event, Trade to Win, 24th of February 2023. For those of you who are part of my trading room, please do let me know you can hear me okay in the chat area. And also the people who are on the YouTube area, please, you can put your comments and your questions in through there to me. So just say hi or something for now, just to see if you can hear me okay, so I can start today's event. And let's have a look at some charts in a bit. So while I'm waiting, excellent. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Martin. Thank you, Jeff. Thanks, Abdul. Thanks, Ahmed. Excellent. And also the YouTube area as well. Please, people who are on there, just say hi or something. So I know the comment area should work. So when you send a message in, if you want to ask any question or any particular chart you want me to look at, I'll go ahead and have a look at it for you whilst we're doing this live event as part of the live trading room that we have 4 days a week. And hi, Robbie, how are you? Right, let's get on with it. I think most people are there now, and I want to get as more information as possible through today's event. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to go straight into the chart. I was looking at the US 500, and obviously we had a potential professional selling did appear in December, and obviously it did try to come down, then it pushed up. There was a shakeout and a test to try to push up. But now, currently, what more interesting for me is what's going on now in the last few days. And as you can see, the weakness starting to appear. And really, there's not much buying going on there anymore. And today, currently, we're running on a down bar. So really, what I'm seeing in the US 500 is that I'm seeing the start of the weakness. And of course, we'll see how low it's going to go. And if we look at the background of our chart a little bit, squeeze the chart a bit more and see what's going on, you can see the high that we had in that position there. And the next high that we had is here. And of course, the previous high to that was there. So as you can see, and the highs are getting lower, and the lows are getting lower too. So the lows are getting lower, the highs getting higher, but the previous two low, this low hasn't got as low. So I'm expecting this to come lower, and I really see this as a weak market on the US 500. Now, a good thing I've got John in. John, you're hello there. Can you hear me, John? You have to turn your mic.
Sorry.
Turn your mic on.
Yeah, that might help. Okay.
Yeah, how are you? All right?
Doing fantastic. Just caught a nice little scalp.
Okay. Was it on the ES?
Yes.
Yes.
The micro MES futures.
Okay. All right. Fantastic. Yeah, I was just talking about the US 500, and I could see the weakness starting to appear now. I mean, if you really want to take a trade on the US 500 or probably on the ES on the futures, probably looking for short trade really. as it is in majority of the major charts, like the pound against the US, and the euro against the US, they're all like going down, and the gold as well. So really, really, it's a good time to short most instruments, isn't it, John?
Yeah, it is, especially with the dollar strengthening as well. It made a big pop overnight.
Yeah, absolutely correct. Now, just explain a little bit about yourself, John, to everyone who doesn't know you. I mean, I know the people in the room that are part of the live trading room, they know you, but just as this is a live event for everyone else, and we've got loads of people on the other side, just explain a little bit how did you get into trading, and why did you join the trading room, and all those things behind it, really.
Okay. Well, I started trading quite a few years ago. Actually, I was, doing a lot of sim trading, and it just caught my eye as something that looked really interesting, and a good way to make some money. And so I started looking into it. I found Trade Guider years. The Trade Guider's been around for years and years and years, since the company hasn't been around since the 30s, but the technology certainly has. And when you look at it and really dive into volume spread analysis, it's really the in my opinion the only way to trade. It's the only method that you can really see when big money is entering the market. And uh, so with it, I looked at Trade Guider, I looked at everything. When you're starting out, your mind is fogged with, trying to find the holy grail of trading, and you load your charts with indicators, and you do all kinds of crazy stuff that you really don't understand until you start really learning about trading and learning how to trade. And that's what uh, Trade Guider is all about, and that's what the live trading room is all about: learning how to trade. And when you actually can see somebody trading live and making profits consistently, if that doesn't open your eyes, nothing will. Because, as you know, if you've been out there trading, and it's the reason why you're here today, it's not easy. But if you set up a trading plan, you set up your rules, and most importantly, you follow your rules, you can have some great success with trading, either part-time or full-time. A lot of traders, find a natural ability after they really study, and become professional traders, and that's what they do. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. I've been through the Holy Grail search. I started with Trade Guider. I went and looked at everything else, and then I came back. And a funny thing, when I came back, all of a sudden my account started increasing by a lot, and that was because I realized that everything I needed is right there on the chart: volume, and the bars. Really, it's like reading music. And um, and so, to be in the trading room and be able to jump in trades as well, and follow Aram and the other traders as we're going through different trades, and looking at different instruments: gold, oil, crypto sometimes, um, lots of Forex, futures. We look at everything that you want to look at. Most people, have some favorite things to trade. Aaron loves the GBP USD. I trade futures. I trade the micro futures. I trade the ES, MES, and I trade also the NASDAQ. And I really don't look to trade anything else besides those two. They're quite active, and just following one, for me, if you're really, involved with bar by bar analysis, as I am, I don't have time to really look at anything else. Lots of other traders do, but for me, I found my sweet spot with just following a couple things. Um,
Yeah,
It's
John. Just sorry to disturb you there,
that's right.
but it's how important is it for you to be part of the trading room? Has it helped you, in a bit, or do you think it's? I mean, obviously you've been with us for since the beginning, so obviously it's been doing something good for you. But in what way has it helped you?
Well, it's made me realize how to trade. Actually, when you know how the market works and you know what the big money is looking for, which you learn in the live trading room and going through the material, you see that unless you know where the big money is, you're blind. You're looking at lagging indicators that are just basically telling you what's going on in the marketplace. But when you can actually look at bars bar by bar and analyze and see what the big money is doing and when they're going to be making their next moves, and you can get a couple crumbs out of that or more, then that's what it's all about. I'm a scalper. I don't really swing trade too much, at least not now, the way the market's been for the last year. But whether you're a swing trader, long-term trader, scalper, it's all here for you with Trade Guider. And I'm not going to lie, it takes some studying. It takes not just looking at some indicator that says green and red. You actually have to look at the signals. You have to look back in the history. You have to look at separate time frames. And to me, it's fun. I mean, how fun is it to sit and it's almost like a video game when you understand it. And sometimes I even chuckle when I look and I see the perfect setup and I get in, and it's like taking candy from babies, really. But there's also a lot of booby traps that are set up for you by the big money because they want your money. They don't want you to ride their coattails. They want to take your money from you. So that's the last thing you want to happen. So with the software, we use the Trade Guider Lite in the Trading View room during the live sessions, and it's really pretty amazing when you can put it all together within the confines of your trading plan and execute and and make money. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's lovely, isn't it? I mean, when I go into the trades in the live trading room, and as soon as I put my stop loss in a profit, as soon as I can, I really enjoy trading, and it's becoming fun when you're trading that way. I think it becomes fun once what you're doing, and what you exactly know where to enter, when to enter, and how to manage your trade. And this is what we do. That's what I do in the room, and try to show people. Obviously, not to copy the way I do it. Everyone have their own individual methodology, but the principle of learning is the same, isn't it, John? I mean, as long as you know the actual, the whole methodology correctly, it allows you to make this as a fun way of making money, really, doesn't it,
Oh,
John?
absolutely. And what's fun too is once you realize what you're seeing and you're able to read the charts, you could actually do this without any of the signals. All you would need is the volume and the chart. When you get good, you can look at things and because sometimes nothing's perfect, so you don't get a signal and you don't take the trade. But when it all comes together, you see the signal, you see it in the volume, you see it in the background, and you enter a trade and it goes right into profit. There's no better feeling than that, because most of us are used to clicking that button and all of a sudden the trade goes exactly the opposite way. It's like somebody's watching you. So when you trade correctly, when you enter a trade, you should almost immediately go into profit. Otherwise, you've probably made a mistake and should get out of that trade right away.
Absolutely correct. Got a question, John. I think it might be interesting to you as well. It says, Thank you very much for your question, Shahzad. It says, "Hi, Aram. I remember once you said that investing $5,000, you could easily earn $200 per day by adopting VSA methodology. Is it possible to earn this amount every day by just trading?" John, you answer me that question. $5,000 account. Can you earn $200 a day?
You could earn
On
a lot more.
average, I mean, on
Yeah,
average, on average.
on average, you absolutely could.
You can.
Absolutely could do 200 or more or less. Maybe you have only $100 a day that you need to get your goals. But you'll see as time goes on, and you feel more confident, you can add more to the trades, add a little more risk to the trades, and that $200 may come up as a profit in one trade. And then now you're able to go on and make more than that. What would it be like to make $500 a day, which I've done many times? Just scalping, just doing numerous scalping trades, taking a couple points here, a couple points there. So it's very realistic that you could make $200 a day with a $5,000 account, especially if you're trading Forex or futures, because you can open an account for less than that. And if you're good with risk and you just follow your plan and you get out when you should get out, stay in when you should stay in, then you're going to do it. But like I said, I'm not going to lie. If you're not ready to put in the time and study, and I look at it, like I said, I look at it, I'm in the music business as well, so I look at it as like reading music. When I look at a chart, I look at each bar as though it's a note, and then I look at what the volume is giving me. I look in the background in the area that I am, and I decide, if I'm going to play that next note or not.
Absolutely correct, John. So I hope that answers your question, Shahzad. Yes, it is possible, and but obviously it all depends on your plan. You should have a plan. All of you should have a plan, written out, so you know exactly. For example, if you on your plan, if you lose, say, I would say like $300, for example, and then if that's in your plan that you stop trading, then you should stop trading, or for that particular day. But if in your plan it says that you make $500 in a day and then you stop trading, then you should do that as well. Because if you make $500 and in that day, that means you reach your goal and you do not trade anymore. Isn't that right, John? I mean, it's always in the plan that you need to follow and stick with it. And if you have that plan set up, then you're obviously a winner, isn't it, John?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
I've already made my 500 this morning before as market opened. I cashed out.
Yeah. I mean, but that's the way the plan should be written out. I mean, if you have a bad day, and in trading, there's no two ways about it. You're going to lose trades. You're going to be losing trades. There's no way anybody out there can tell me that they take 10 trades every day and they win every 10 trades. I really don't. I mean, I know this for fact because I talk to professional traders, and they are my friends, and we do discuss these things. And they also, of course, we lose. It's part of the game. You have to lose, but overall, you need to be a winner. So overall, say for example, Shahzad, you want to make $200, you might lose $150, and then you win $350 trade, and then overall will be a $200 profit, if you know what I mean. So it's about overall picture. On a monthly basis, you look at your figures and see what you've done. For example, my monthly figures I've managed to calculate. I had 118 trades taken throughout the month, and I had 49 losses, and I had 69 winning trades. And the total losses trade I had was £486, and the total winning trade I had was £560, which is just about £74 profit in a month on a £1,000 account. So you see, it all depends on your thing, and it depends on how you take trades and what you do and what your plan is. But on a $5,000, if you concentrate, and absolutely I agree with John, you need to practice, 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 and read and read and read, and then obviously that's what we got the live. I think you are part of my live trading room, Shazad, so you can attend the live trading room, and obviously if you can't, you can, there's always archive on the side as well, which you can have a look at. So, and also you can put in your questions, you can put in your chart, you can email me your chart, and you email me your questions, your doubts, and we all there to learn. John, it's like a community, isn't it? We want to all learn.
Oh,
We all
absolutely.
traders. That's what we want to do. So it's important. I mean, I really have to give it to John. I mean, he's been fantastic. I mean, he's, when we start the live trading room, is was it 4:30 in the morning in your time, isn't it, John?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
It's
you're
changed my whole life around to get up that early.
yeah.
In a good way.
No, but I mean, this is dedication. I mean, this is what I call dedication, and it's wonderful to have some dedication like that, because if you're really serious about trading and you want to make that money, Shazad, a day, then yes, you need to have the dedication. You need to have put the time in, put the effort in, and if you don't understand something, you need to ask me, come into the room, put the question in. Even if I can't answer it to you at some point, I will make sure I will find out the answer for you. So the whole point of the trading room is about getting involved, doing tradings, and obviously I do trading, live trading as well, and and also come in there and analyze. And this week I analyzed the chart, the Euro USD and the GBP USD, and I did tell you earlier on in the week, John. I told everyone that this chart is going to go down. They're going to dump it. It's going, and it's not surprising. Today we've just did trades on it, made profit on it, and it was not surprising. Was it surprising to you?
Not at all. No,
No.
we were ready for it.
Yeah. So the analysis was done spot on, and really, really. I mean, if I look at the GBP USD, you can see really, really they. If I this is a 30 minutes chart, you can see on a 30 minutes chart you got this potential professional selling, no demand, up trust, no demand, no demand, and it's been falling since. I mean, if you look at the daily chart quickly, we can see what's going on. And these are all the trades, by the way, I took today. So you can see, look, I've been down in this trade today on a scalp side. Why? Because it's going down. We are below the trigger line. You've got change of behavior. You got one PS there, another PS, potential professional selling. You got the test got confirmed, but nevertheless you change behavior. You come below the trigger line, so you should be looking for short trade, and that's what we did in the live trading room, a trade to win, and really, really, that's what we did. And I think on the US 500 I was looking at as well, it looks like a very good short trade. It's changing behavior on the US 500 now. And you can see that today is a down bar. We're going below the trigger line. And I really, John, I don't see this market, the US 500, pushing off anytime soon. I think next week you're looking for shorts, aren't you?
Oh yeah, I've been riding it
Yeah.
down.
Yeah, it does look like the setup is going to be there for next week, I'm sure. I think we're going to be trading this. I love US 500 because the volatility is there, and it's the Wild West, isn't it, more or less?
It is, and some of the beauty of that too is that you get a lot more signals with something like that, even on the higher time frames, which sometimes on stocks or some other things that don't have quite that volatility don't get as many signals. So I
Yeah,
love the Nasdaq, and I love the
yeah,
S&P 500. Yeah.
absolutely. And I mean, if you look at it today, you can see on a 1 minute chart, if you want to scalp this chart, really, really setting up for a short trade. We're below the trigger line. They've done a test. It's come back to that level. It's gone below that test now. So really looking at a short trade. I'm really looking at a short trade for that. And look at I just want to see whether there are any entry point. Maybe I take a quick stab at it if I have entry point on the lower time frames. But really, fail test, no demand. We're below the trigger line. Let me just quickly have a look
On the
at
2-minute chart. On the 2-minute chart, there's a no demand that in the background after a professional buying that went right back up to the bottom of the trigger bar, gave a no demand, and then came down.
Okay, are you talking about the US 500 or the
the future?
ES.
Sorry, the ES. Yeah.
Well, I mean, this one probably is your no demand. This test that I've got failed here, because usually when the test happens and it fails in a weakness, it's a sign of weakness. So really,
it's actually high, right past the professional buying in the past there, to the right of that where it comes back up.
Oh yes, okay, there.
That's it right there.
Yeah. Well, that looks like a no demand.
Yeah, it was. And so I waited.
Yeah.
I waited. It came down, and then it came back up into the body. And then when it came back down again, at the bottom of the no demand, I entered there, and then look what I got.
Yeah. And it's still going down a bit. I mean, it did push up a little bit.
Yep.
But then it's come back down again. I mean, you could have had a re-entry again, even if it stopped you out. And this is what we do in the room as well for everyone, who's not part of the live trading room. We also show you how to take the trade and how to manage your trade throughout, and what you need to do with your stop loss and what you need to do with your actual trade, whether it's up or down. Shahzad is asking, can you see USD CAD for me and tell me it medium to long term look? I think it will go up. Yes, I would tell you that straight away. The USD is gaining strength, so it's definitely going to go up. But I will show you, Shahzad, no problem. USD CAD. There you go. On the USD CAD, let me just analyze this chart for you. Let me get rid of that. That was an analysis I did in the live trading room. Potential professional selling did appear. It did come down to this level, to around 1.322. There was a test, they push it up, and then they did another test, and then they tried to, and there was a no demand, but it's pushed up again. But on a daily chart, there is no setup yet for a long trade, okay? Even though, looking at the background, if I squeeze the chart, what do I see? I see the market is generally going up. It's an uptrend. So therefore, if you're going to do any trades on a lower time frames, you'll be better probability if you do it as a long trade. Okay, so now what I want to see is this to continue go up, go above the trigger line. I want to see tests and shakeouts or both together, and go above the trigger line and continue with strength to give me confidence to go in and go long. This is a daily chart. I'm talking about the swing trade. But of course, as you can see and as you can appreciate, each pip or each bar finishes on a daily basis. Got another 6 hours to go on this up bar, and it's pushing up. We got strength behind us, and the last few days they've been pushing up, and I'm not surprised. The USD is gaining strength, so that's really not surprising to me. But if I look at the lower time frame now, let's go to the 4-hour chart, zoom in and see. There you go. The typical setup for a long trade. The potential professional selling hasn't been confirmed. That's, to me, is a strength. And you can see the strength behind you. The behavior is strong. You got a strength behind you. You got several tests confirming. And this test is important to me when you're going above the trigger line, and this would have been my entry point on the 4-hour chart. And as you can see, 4 hours, 8 hours, and now we are going into almost 16 hours trade. All right, so this is a very good setup for a long trade. Okay, now obviously there are some checklists to follow, and there are some backgrounds reading to do, and this is what we do in the live trading room before we make our decisions to go and buy. Here on the hindsight, it does look like it's pushing up, and it doesn't take a genius to really figure this out. But when there is a live trading going on with the real account, there you need to make sure everything is correct. Look at the background, and this is what I do in the live trading room. Analyze the chart and give you an indication of what's going to happen with that particular instrument on that particular week. Now, if you go to the 1 minute chart, sorry, 1 hour chart, let's try that. I will get to the 1 minute chart. Look, the hourly chart has been pushing up. Really, Shahzad, I'd be looking to buy in this particular instrument for now, and this probably next week as well. I won't be surprised, because I think the US dollar is gaining strength slowly but surely. Okay, so you can see that it's pushing up. There is no indication there for me to go long there yet. Okay, none of the principles of the strength have been confirmed, but nevertheless I can see the trend is going up. And if I look at the 30 minutes chart, as we zoom down, what do you notice about this chart as it's pushing up? It's something that you should notice. Very important. It's happening. That's as it's pushing up, there's a test change of behavior. Is pushing up. What do you actually notice? Well, you should be able to see as it's pushing up the market, you can see your relative volume. Very important. They're increasing. They're gradually increasing. So this is a telltale sign this market is pushing up. And now when you got a bullish market like this, and you see the market pushing up, you always see the buying are increasing. Whenever there is buying going on, they're increasing. Okay, your relative volume. Whenever there is buying going on, they're increasing. Now, another thing you should notice is as the market is trying to go down, when there is a strength there behind you and the market is bullish, when the market is trying to go down, you see clearly what's happening to your relative volume decreasing. There's no interest. Professionals not interested for the market to go down. So therefore, there are combinations of things that we do cover in the live trading room, and if you're part of that, then you can obviously do that on a daily basis, and it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Fridays when time permits, and and that's what we do on a daily basis. Now, as you can see, coming on the 30 minutes chart, this PB, potential professional buying, I would not be surprised if it gets confirmed. Now, ideally now, if this continues to go, it gets confirmed first and continue to go above the trigger line, and I get another test or a shakeout happening, this will push up a bit higher. But as far as your trading side concerns, you'll be looking for a long trade for now. It might change over the next couple of weeks, but currently what we're looking at is an uptrend. So therefore, you want to be trading on the upside. There will be a point where things will change and will come back back down, and then that's what you're going to be looking for, short trade. But at the moment, you should be looking for long trade. Now, if I look at 15 minutes chart, potential professional buying, look at that, increasing volume of the buying. Every time there's buying going on, there's a bit of volume comes in. Every time it's trying to come down, there's not much support. And if I squeeze the chart, you can see the general trend of this market. Where is it going? It's going up. You're getting new highs, and the lows are getting higher. So this is a telltale sign that this market is pushing up. So you should be really looking, even in the lower time frames, you should be looking for a long trade. Now let's have a look at the 5 minutes chart. By the way, John, do you trade this USD CAD? Do you do the Forex generally? You don't do you?
I used to, but I found that I just really get focused in on one instrument, on one chart, and I just really try and keep going back over the setup and looking at each bar individually and the volume and trying to work out a scenario of where I think that the money's going to take the price.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah, coming back on the USD CAD, there you go. You can see it's generally going up. You had test. You got the buying was happening. I really think there was all the time the buying comes in. Now, why is it that the potential buying and tests are important for me than no demands and PS in this case, in this scenario? It's because when the market is pushing up, I'll be more interested in the strength principles than the weak principles, because the trend is going up. When the trend is going down, I'm more interested on where the weak principles appear. So really, for me, Shazad, I will be trading this on the up. If you haven't been already in this trade on the 5 minutes chart, I'll be very surprised, because you should have been in this trade for a long time ago. And this is an all-day trade. You can see it's still pushing up further. There is a potential professional buying. Obviously, you would have had let me just expand this a bit so I can show everybody where the setup of the long trade is. You had a potential professional buying happening there, and this would have been your trigger line that would have appeared automatically for you on the VSLI. Then you had obviously a change of behavior, which is part of our checklist. And then you had a test above the trigger line. You got strength, you got potential professional buying, you got a change of behavior to the upside, you're above the trigger line, and this would have been an entry point. And if you would have stayed in this trade as a swing trader, probably since what time? If I would have gone into this one on a down bar, let me just see what time it was. I would tell you exactly where I would have gone in. There, on a down bar at around 4:35 in the morning, and I would have left this trade open, let it carry on. It did come back down, but I wouldn't panic, because I'm still above the trigger line, and my stop loss would have been just above the trigger line. And as you can see, it's continued to push up all day, and you'll be actually, I would forget about $200, Shazad. You would have been, if you would have gone in there, you'll be up by now at least double your account size by now, I think, depending on how much units you would have put in. But really, this is a very good trade. And you can see it's gone pushed up further. Then if you miss that test entry point, this would have been my second entry point at around 11:25. Change of behavior, you got another test, you got strength behind you, you're above the trigger line, and this would have been another entry point for me. Once it gets confirmed, I would have gone on a down bar. Yes, it does come back down a little bit. I wouldn't panic. My stop loss would be around there anyway, in this area below this line where the change of behavior happened for a bit. And then you can see it's changed behavior, well, not change behavior, sorry, it continued to push up again, and no demand didn't get confirmed. And as you can see, it's pushed up. And in the news, it was the reverse of, with the euro, with the pound against the cable, the euro against USD. As you can see, it was the reverse. And obviously, I knew this is going to be the case for the USD cap, because I know the USD is gaining strength. So that's why you're seeing the reverse. And where the GBP USD concerned, you obviously it goes down because the pound is getting weaker, because the US dollar is gaining strength. So I hope you understand that. And you got see the volume there, quite high volume, and it's continued to push up. So even if you would have entered there and you would have sitting in this trade, you all day until now, you'll be way into profit by now. And your stop loss now should have been way into profit. Should have been, now I would have put my stop loss here just above the trigger line, and it's way into profit. If I entered there, would have been way into profit. And I will keep adding to it as I see more and more increase. Okay, Shahzad. Gold, Simo asking for gold. Let's have a look at gold. Shahzad, I hope I answered your question okay there. So let's have a look at gold. John, do you trade gold?
I do occasionally in the room. Otherwise,
Okay.
I other stuff I only trade when I'm with you. But when I'm by myself, I trade only my selected two.
Okay. That's fine. Let's have a look at the hourly chart quickly on gold. Really, and we have traded this week. Actually, we traded it a few times successfully. You can see potential professional selling. I mean, first of all, what I need to say to everyone, you squeeze your chart a bit, have a look in the background. What's going on with gold? Is it going to the moon or is it going to the south? To me, it looks like more south than the moon, really. All right, look, the market is going down. So you're on a downtrend. All right, so you need to be looking for trades that are potentially short currently. Okay, let me emphasize that, currently. Just because it's going down right now doesn't mean it's going to go down forever. It's going to push up at some point. But right now, what we're looking at is on a short time basis, we can see the market is going down. We've got potential professional buying and failed, and now got another one which hasn't finished. We've got another 17 minutes to go to finish this particular bar, but I don't think it will get confirmed. But as we zoom in, I will show you. Now, if this continues to go below this trigger line, and I will have a look and see if I've got in multiple time frame, if I've got no demands and uptrust, I will probably enter this trade on a short, because this is going to go further down. I won't be surprised if the gold reaches the 1800 mark. So we'll see that. But if I go down to the 30 minutes chart, there you go. There's a no demand there. Potential professional buying has coming in, but this bar is, for me, is more important, which happened in the news, and is a down bar, and we're starting to go below this line, which is my support and resistance line, and I really see this as going lower now. You got change of behavior, and if I look at the background a bit, what do I see? The market is generally falling. So really, if you want to short trade this as a scalper or as a swing trader, you really should be trading this short. You should have been trading this short, right? So let's have a look at the 5 minutes chart quickly. Yeah, the market is dropping. You can see potential professional selling there. And the one that's very important to me is this one here, where the potential professional buying appeared and did not get confirmed. So it's a sign of weakness. So as it's trying to push up, you can see the volumes are getting smaller. as it's trying to push up. So as you can see, it's coming back down. So really looking for a short trade setup again. Now I want to see no demand again, and I will be jumping back into the trade if you haven't started trading this yet. Got no demand there on a 1 minute chart, and you can see market is generally falling, and this is what happened in the news when it came down and then suddenly tried to push up, but really has gone sideways for a bit, working its way, and then now is really the general trend is down. So really you need to position yourself for a short trade. So you want to make sure you're below the trigger line. You want to make sure you get no demands after no demands. You want to make sure that you enter a trade on a short trade on an up bar, and if you see an uptrust now or a no demand, this will go further down. But really, for me, gold is a short trade. Is that okay, Simo? You're welcome, Shahzad. Any more question, anyone? Okay. Right. Got no more questions? Okay. Just bear with me 1 second. Okay, Marco, can you take a look at, you're asking, can you look at Euro USD? Yeah, no problem. Euro USD. That was a great trade I took today on the Euro USD. John, you enjoyed that, didn't you?
Fantastic. I love
It was,
winners.
look, it was in the news. I mean, let me just explain everything. You should actually not trade in the news, for sure. But I mean, I could see the general after analysis. I could see there's a definite weakness there, and I was telling everybody that they're trying to mark it up, weren't they? They were trying to mark up the euro and the pound. They were marking it up before the news, and obviously I entered there, and it was going against me, and I was like, what, minus £30, £40, something like that. But I wasn't panicking. I still was below the trigger line then. And I said to everyone, I'm just going to stay with it. And then in the news, it came down, and I just chased it too quickly, and I made a bit good profit on there. And now we draw these two lines. Why did I draw these two lines on the Euro USD? Is that what happened in the news? And sometimes I do that when we got very high volume bars appearing in the news and a very high volume. I want to see the low and the high, the more like sort of like a support and resistance line, where you want to be, make sure where. And currently, what we are doing now, the market is going a bit sideways to me, Marco. So there's no trade there yet, but it's setting up for a short trade. So if it happens later on this afternoon or this evening, by the way, is there any news coming out later on today? Well, just the G20 later on. We already been through major news, and the FOMC in the USD, which has already happened anyway. So there's not much news coming out. So now, what you're looking at, Marco, is one thing only. You should be looking for a short trade, okay? Because first of all, and I explain to you why. Because you're below the trigger line. All right, you got so many no demands, and and if it's at the moment is going a bit sideways, which you expect that after the news, and this is what's happened. But once it comes down and it changes behavior, and you go below this line and break out this line continuously, then you will see lower prices. I think we are not looking for a long trade. You should be looking for a short trade if you're going to trade this later on today. So I really don't see any strength there at the moment. The US dollar is gaining strength, so therefore you should be looking for a short trade. Okay. Any more question, anyone? Let me see if I can quickly. I've seen two no demands, change in behavior, but I want to go below this line. Let's have a look and see whether that's going to happen or not anytime soon. Okay. Right. While I'm looking for that, John, can you just explain to everyone why they should join the live trading room, Trade to Win?
Absolutely. Well, number one, there's strength in numbers, and when you're trading with a couple different mindsets and points of view from people, then your chances of winning a trade are much better. All you need is an edge, and Trade Guider gives you that edge. It's going to take some time to, if you're just getting involved with it, of course, take some time to get used to it and to reading the bars. But in the trading room, when you do that 4 times a week for 4 hours at a session, and you see what's going on, you see which trades to get into that Aaron gets into, and which trades not to get into is even more important. That's the thing that I always see. It's very tempting to jump into trades that look like they're going somewhere, and you jump in and it goes the exact opposite way of your trade. And in the trading room with Aaron, he does not violate the rules. He follows the rules to a T. So you really see what it takes to win a lot of trades, because like I said, Aaron has a very, very high winning percentage in this in Forex or in any of the trading. So I would recommend it to anybody. It's 16 hours a week that you have. It's like a college course is all I can describe it to. Really, it's well worth the money. I think it's undervalued, as a matter of fact, for the amount of hours and the amount of time that is put in by Aram and by Gavin, who comes in the room, and other guests as well. We had a special guest today. It was fantastic. You always get different viewpoints, looking at volume different ways. And I recommend it highly. I've been there since the beginning, and I've actually signed on for years into the future already.
Yeah, absolutely right, John. Thank you very much for that. I've got something coming through from Wendy. It says, Wendy saying, what about 1 hour on Euro USD? Shows quite some strength on the last 2 hours. Let's not forget, Wendy, the thing is, when we're talking about short trades on scalp side, on a lower time frames, the higher time frame might be wary. So it might vary a bit different to the short time frames. Now, what do I mean by that? Sometimes I've had situation where somebody was going short trade and I was going long trade, but our time frames were different, and we were both correct. All right, and this is something that we discuss in the live trading room as well. But let me just tell you, when I say to you, you go short on the Euro USD, we're talking about lower time frame, like 1 minute chart, 5 minutes chart, and 2 minutes chart, 3 minutes chart, 4 minutes chart, and even 5-second chart, and 10-second chart, a 15-second chart, and 30-second chart. That's when I say we go short as a scalper. All right. Now, if I look at the 1 hour chart that you're saying is showing a strength, where is the strength in the 1 hour chart? Where do you see the strength? John, do you see a strength in this chart, in the 1 hour chart?
No, unless you're talking about strength going down.
That's it, yeah.
It's weakness.
Yeah. So as
That's
you can see, as you can
lots of
see,
places to get in there, but
yeah.
the where the signals are, if you got in there at the no demand, I mean,
Oh,
you just follow that all the way down. Look at that.
yeah,
You have no reason
yeah,
to get out of that trade.
no.
Or you could
So
just, or if you're a scalper, you could see where that you could come back down, come back up to uh, the dots there, and that's a great rebound point. It's I think it's like the 21.
yeah, no, I think he's talking about this ultra high volume bar, which
Oh
happened
yeah,
in the news, and you're thinking it will be strength. Well, currently it hasn't worked that way yet, and this is what we said today. We are looking at short trades on a lower time frames. This can, as I said to you, I explained this in the room as well, didn't I, John? I said if this market push back up and go above this line which I've drawn. By the way, this PB that has appeared is exactly on that line that I've drawn. Okay, so now you can see if it goes above that line, yeah, and you see a change of behavior and you see test after test happening, then yes, you're looking at strength. Then yes, you'll be looking for buying. But today, on a short time frames, right now, I'll be looking for short trades. I'm not looking for long trade. Now, if this continues to go below this line into this area, as it's trying to go, and you're seeing is increase in volume of selling, this is going to go lower. So I really don't see the euro gaining strength. I really don't. Not this week and next week. I don't think so. I mean, if you want to go ahead and buy in this situation, that's at your own, you know, is your own decision. That's fine. But I personally, if I'm following the VSA methodology, right now I'll be selling. I will not be buying. I've got PS there, got no demand there. I'll be in a selling position, and I still would have been in selling position as a swing trader. So now what you're seeing is two things. We are reaching an area after this news. You might think this is a strength. Yes, I might agree with you, Wendy. And if it goes above the line, above the trigger line, you change behavior, you get test after test, then yes, I'll be considering to go long. But this is going to take ages for it to happen, and I don't think it will not happen anytime soon, as far as I'm concerned.
yeah. It looks like it's going to fire short again, and a lot of times on a higher time frame, when you have a high volume bar, ultra high volume bar, if you wait to the 2 bars, you'll see if it was buying, why didn't price go above that bar?
Exactly. Exactly.
So it's
Yeah.
always nice to wait and see. I mean, look where it is now. That was obviously a selling bar.
Yes. Yes. This, I mean, it says potential professional buying, but it was not confirmed, and that's sign of weakness to me. If it would have been confirmed, I might have agreed with you, Wendy, and I would have said yes, because it's a very high volume. Yes, I think they've taken the market to the low, and now what they want to do is push the market back up again. But because it hasn't been confirmed, this gives me an indication, especially where the weakness, we are in the weakness for a very long time. I'm really looking for short in this trade, really, not long in. Okay, so I hope I answered your question, Wendy. And right, so right, with that said, I think if there are no more questions, Paul is saying, John, keep talking like that they might but the price up. I don't quite understand what it means, Paul. But anyway. Yeah, no problem, Wendy. Right, any more questions, anyone? Thank you very much, John, for joining in. I think we're going to do the live trading room on Tuesday, not on Monday this next week. But I will do the following Monday, hopefully. We'll see that. But I think we do it on Tuesday. Because Mondays are usually not very good for...
Yeah, no, they're too boring. No
Yeah,
trading
it's
on
too,
Monday. I usually
uh,
don't even trade on Monday unless there's some big news event or something happens in the
yeah,
news that
yeah,
that there's some movement. Otherwise, you just get caught in all the traps in a sideways
yeah,
channel.
yeah. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. I might even do, like, if I want to do extra time, I might do it during the week, on a Tuesday or Wednesday or something like this. Do a bit extra just to cover. But that's fine. Thank you very much, John, for joining in,
My
and thank
pleasure,
you,
Adam.
everyone. Yeah, no problem. And have a lovely weekend, John. And I hope everyone, where it is very great value for money. I was just joking. Okay. It was just joking. He was just talking about the where you're making money. He says.
Yeah, actually, yes, I did do a couple trades while I was talking. Sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. No problem. No problem. Anyway, thank you very much, everyone. Thank you very much, John. Have a lovely weekend, and I'll see you next week, Tuesday, in the room. And
All
I'll
right.
see all my people in the room as well. And for those of you who are not part of the Trade to Win live room, you can go ahead and have a look on the website, and tradetowin.com. And you could be able to have a look and see, and you can send any questions or any inquiries you have on the live chat area before joining in. So please do. And I think we have got a special offer at the moment, so you can have a look at that, and talk to Mary, and Mary will be able to help you with any questions you might have. For that said, have a lovely weekend, everyone, and happy trading to all of you. And thank you very much. And I will see you in the next event, which hopefully will be next week or following week. We will confirm with an email. But thank you very much, and have a lovely rest of the day. Bye for now.
Bye bye.